Sustained Aknia, welcome to Khmer Voices, where we shine a spotlight on the achievements of the Cambodian diaspora around the world. I'm your host, Vani, aka Vanny. I've got a special episode for you today. It's special because I'm not interviewing anyone. I have some news, some personal news to share with you. I wasn't sure if I was going to do it, but I figured, okay, you know what? It's an opportunity for me to kind of fill you guys in on what I plan to do with the podcast as well and where I want to take it. So what is this news that I want to share? It's quite exciting because I've been thinking about it for a while. I handed in my resignation to my job 2 weeks ago. So my last day is tomorrow. It's March 10th today, and March 11th, 2026 will be my last day at work. I was working at a wine import agency selling the most beautiful wines. It was a dream job for me. Like, I had applied to this company 3 times. The first time I didn't get any call back. The second time I applied for a sales role because I wanted to get into sales. But I was talking to somebody there, and they wanted me to do their marketing because I come from a marketing background. And I wasn't interested in marketing. I wanted to really dip my toes into sales. Like, I started doing a bit of it when I was in the travel industry, and I quite liked it. And I thought I'd be really good at it. Anyways, I didn't pursue that opportunity further because I really wanted to get into sales. Eventually ended up in sales at a more spirits-focused agency. But anyways, by the third time I tried, it was for a contract role, and it was in portfolio management with some marketing aspects to it as well. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'll take this. I really like what this company has to offer. And I felt like, based on their website and the past conversations I've had with them, that it would be a fit for me. So yeah, I ended up getting a contract position there after applying there for 3 times. And about a month in, I was offered a full-time permanent role, and I've been there for the last 7 years. And it was a ride. I mean, I tasted some kick-ass wines, and you know what I love about the company? That because they're really, truly passionate about wines, they don't care if you talk about other wines. Like, they want you to explore wines that aren't in their portfolio. Whereas when I had interviewed for a larger agency that shall remain unnamed, they didn't like that I had a wine blog and that I talked about other wines. Whereas this company that I still work for, they were like, oh yeah, you have a wine blog. That's awesome. Like, so I really appreciated that. Anyways, I worked with the best professionals in the industry. Like, a lot of them, the sales reps, were former sommeliers. So, you know, I really challenged myself in that way. And my manager, he is just basically a walking wine encyclopedia. And I had a blast there. But, you know, I mentioned this in a previous episode where in 2020, something just changed. You know, you just questioned what you were doing. And although I love wine, I love the storytelling aspect to it, and my access to, you know, the right people in the industry and the right wines, there was something missing. And yeah, 4 years later, I released this podcast, Khmer Voices, and my world just changed. It was a lot of work, and it still is, but, you know, I've streamlined a lot of things, and I have these ideas coming. And the last year or so, I really have been thinking about what else I could do with it and how I'm going to do this, especially with a day job. And I've come to the realization that I can't do both successfully. Like, I can't do both and put my all in both. I have to focus on something that will allow me to grow. And that's where I'm going with the podcast. I'm challenging myself creatively, and I feel good. Like, when I first started the podcast, I had this feeling in my belly. You know that feeling that you get, that excitement? And it's just kind of like that message that says, this is it. You're going the right way. I felt the same. Like there were so many signs. For example, like the company just got acquired recently. And I was like, okay, I think this is my sign to leave. Because I was going to leave when my colleague returned from mat leave, and that was in September. And I was like, oh, do I want to wait that long? Okay, I'll do something in June when the business slows down a bit in June. And it won't hurt so much for me to leave then. It won't hurt the company and my colleagues as much. But then, I don't know. It was time for me to sign the new contract with the new company. And I just thought, okay, I can't do it. I'm going to go off on my own now and pursue my creative passion. So that's just a little background on what has been occupying my headspace lately. So how do I know if it was the right time? I think there really isn't a right time. As I mentioned before, I was going to wait until September, and then I negotiated with myself and said, okay, I'll wait until the summer. And then, like I said, there's no right time. The reasons why I quit now as opposed to waiting was because I really wanted to spend more time with my kids. And I think I just didn't have the capacity to do both at a high level. And I'm not one to just half-ass stuff. So I'm at this point with the podcast where I want to take it further. I think I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be doing more solo episodes. So I'll keep you guys in the loop with what's happening with me right now. Planning on releasing quarterly solo episodes. And I want to introduce video as well. I don't think I'm going to introduce video with my guests though, just because I've had a handful of guests that asked me if it was video. And although most are comfortable being on video, being on YouTube, there have been some that prefer not to show their faces. And, I actually find the conversation more intimate that way as well. Like, I know there's opportunity in video, but having guests that aren't comfortable being on video, I'd rather get their stories out there than to not get it out there because they're not comfortable being on video. So yes, I will be doing video only with myself. So my solo quarterly episodes. What do I want to do with Khmer Voices? Well, I definitely wanted to grow. I want to cover more stories. I want to get more artists on. I want to get some guests outside of North America on and share their stories. Actually, I have someone that's based in Germany right now that's going to be on the show. So, and I think you know her. Her Instagram's pretty funny. It's actually really funny. And she's really young too. And she is just an inspiration. So I can't wait to share that episode with you. I also want to start a couple more podcasts. My dream is to have a media company. I don't know exactly how that's going to happen yet because it's just me so far. Like I do the editing all myself. I produce all my shows. So it's just me. It's a solo project. I don't hire or outsource. And I actually really like the editing and summarizing my notes and such. It's going to be that way for a while because I want to be able to kind of have a formula first. And then perhaps once that formula is set, I can pass on or I can delegate some of my tasks. But for now, I'm really enjoying the process. I want to start a second podcast called Khmer Voices, where I interview people who were born and grew up in Cambodia and are working there right now. It's going to give listeners an understanding of what it's like to work in Cambodia and to hear it straight from the source as well. I believe there's another podcast out there called Good Morning Cambodia that does this, but I think that there's lots of space for more podcasts like this. And I just kind of going off to the side a bit, I want to see more podcasts that are created by us Khmers. Like there's a new one called Khmer Talk out right now. And there's a lot of like Asian podcasts. There's the Bun B Chronicles by Randy Kim. He's half Vietnamese and half Cambodian in the States. But I don't really know of any other podcasts that are Cambodian led. So yeah, there's Dorothy Chow, of course, from Death in Cambodia. But yeah, I would love to see more. Like I can't get enough of our stories. So that's another podcast that I want to start. I actually want to start a literary podcast. This podcast is going to be on books by Southeast Asian authors because I know that everything's interconnected and we share a lot of our history, our heritage and cultures overlap and influence each other. And I'm just intrigued by the Southeast Asian region. So it's going to be a podcast where I invite 2 or 3 other people of Southeast Asian descent and we read a book by, well, we're not going to read on air, but we would have read a book by a Southeast Asian author. And yeah, we're going to discuss the book. I mean, maybe sometimes the author can come on too. That's my hope. But I think that's going to be a podcast maybe more down the road, maybe 2 years down the road. I also want to start a newsletter. The newsletter title is yet to be determined, but it's going to be related to Khmer Voices for now, because obviously I don't have Cambodian Voices up and going yet, and I don't have the Southeast Asian podcast going yet either. So I wanted to dabble in writing, and I wanted to be able to kind of just dump my thoughts somewhere. I find that, when I write things out first, it's easier for me to articulate what it is that I'm feeling because I've already sort of arranged the words the way that I want to convey them in a more concise or more impactful manner. Because on the podcast, I sometimes find myself rambling and searching for the right words. So yes, the newsletter, I hope it's going to be good. I hope it resonates with a lot of people. It's going to be letters to my younger self and to my daughter. So I don't know. It's going to be very personal, and I don't know if I'm interesting enough. But I guess if one person likes it, then that's good enough for me. If one person says, hey, I love your newsletter and I feel like you're writing it to me, then I think that's good enough for me. But yeah, I'm just experimenting with different things right now. I really needed that time and the focus to really create something that is meaningful for me and is full of purpose. So I want to keep going that route. It was hard to quit. I just want to talk about how I was feeling and why it took me so long. It was just really hard to quit because when you have something good, like I did really like my job and I loved it at one point. And it was good. Like it's flexible and I was good at my job. I just didn't see the growth that I wanted. I am a very creative person and I'm going to lean into that. And I want to use my skill set to create something that is more impactful and that will uplift our community. So here we go. I hope you'll join me. I hope you continue to listen to Khmer Voices and support my work. If you want to join my newsletter, send me a DM on Instagram on Khmer Voices. Give me your email and I will send you the link to the newsletter when it launches in April. Yes, in April. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. Now you know what's up with me. And you will see another solo episode from me in 3 months. Awkward time for listening.